They have a toilet in view of all the men and the women and the agents. There is no privacy. A room that is supposed to have a capacity of 80 is holding between 150 to 200 people. The fact that they keep the lights on all day and night, which is considered a form of torture coming out of Guantanamo Bay. People are supposed to be able to sleep. The fact that they keep them in their clothes for several days. They don't, in Department of Corrections, they give you clothing, because you're not supposed to be in the same clothing for several days. There are no working showers in there. They have no blankets, no pillows. They are using aluminum blankets that some of them get, right? And then when someone leaves, all of a sudden they can use their blanket. And they also feed them, depending on their mood, anything from a piece of bread with mayonnaise on it, a single tortilla, or a small Subway sandwich. They give them bottles of water, sometimes 8 ounces, sometimes 16, and they have to decide if they want to use that water to drink or to wash their bodies. They get no toothpaste, they get no toothbrushes, no soap, any kind of sanitizer, no medications. They beat the shit out of these people in the street, and then they bring them in there and they throw them in a room with no medical attention. They break their ribs, they hit their faces, nothing. It's egregious. And anybody who is in that building and has seen what they do is complicit and has no humanity and no conscience left. Because I don't give a shit what you tell yourself at night. If you can see how those people are being treated less than human, you're not human. And I'll tell you something else. We treat convicted murderers and pedophiles better than those people in there who have not been charged with any crime at all. They don't charge them with anything, and then it's up to them to get out of the system, to pay the money, to go to the courts. Everything they say is law, and then you got to get out. It's unconscionable, and the reason that they do it is so they can get their deportation numbers, so that Trump can put them up and say that he did something better than Obama. I can't even get into the fact that being unlawfully present is a civil offense that has no criminal charges, not a misdemeanor, it's not a felony, and that in order to charge them with a misdemeanor, they have to have proof that the person illegally entered the country, which most of the times you don't have, because 40% of the people here came on visas and overstayed. So they don't apply under that. Second of all, that law has a 5-year statute of limitation. So for the people who've been here for 20 years, there's no way they could charge them with that misdemeanor. There's no way, which means that they are civilly being held and their punishment is just deportation. That's it. It's not like they get thrown in jail and then deported just for unlawfully being here. And then people want to say, oh, well, they can just go out and come back in. They can't come back for 10 years. They lose their house, their family, their business. Then they go to a country they haven't been to in 20 years where they have no business, no contacts, don't know where their next meal is coming from. We put fucking murderers in jail and we give them 3 hots and a cot. Come on. We're going to treat these people who've been paying taxes and contributing, and we're going to just throw them out on their ass for 10 years and say, try again? It's unconscionable. You take the money that we're giving ICE, you cut it in fourths. You use 3/4 of it to give everybody amnesty, to make the immigration process free and quick. You get these people, you check out who they are. If they're not criminals, why can't they be in this country legally? Because we make money off of them not being legal. We get to pay them lower wages. We like the fact that they're not legal because they can't exercise their rights like the rest of us can. If I was actually able to talk to ICE, I would do what I do. I take the court documents, the documents that were filed by the human beings that were inside that facility about their experiences that they justify or they testify to in a court of law. Okay? And I read that to them, and I read it to the officers, because if they're going to stand here being complicit, do it 10 toes down. Say that I support the inhumane treatment and the laws being broken inside that building. But don't act like you didn't watch the news or you don't really know what's happening. I come down here to make sure everybody knows what's happening in there. No one can say that they didn't know.